Howdy folks, it's Tall Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I almost said Minecraft Simulator 2020. But we're in the Flight Simulator today, and if you remember from the previous video, we tried to knock out a bunch of achievements at once with a long distance flight, and none of them registered. And after doing some research, or re-researching, a lot of these achievements seem to be kind of bugged. And lots of people are having issues with them. The particular ones we were trying to do seem to be the most bugged in that anybody who has reported getting the achievement has done so randomly and not even meeting the criteria. Someone got a prop achievement using a jet and so on. Just kind of weird stuff. And people all around are having issues with them. So we're just going to focus on one achievement. Well, first of all, we're going to do a gorgeous flight. And we're just going to happen to refocus on one of the achievements. One that has been working, and that's a flight of fancy where you have to fly a jet, an airliner, and a prop each 300 miles or more. And for the jet portion, we actually crashed after running out of fuel, and it still counted as soon as we touched the ground because more than 300 miles, even though it wasn't at an airport. The airliner counted, even though it was a rough landing, and we rolled and we taxied into a jetway, still counted. So I don't know why it didn't count with the prop last time. Not sure. So we're going to do, well, this is about a 400-mile flight. In a prop, the Diamond DA-40NG, which we haven't flown yet. I'm trying to fly a different plane each time until we get through them anyway. And the difference is this time, there's one, we're going to fly how we normally fly. So we do have our normal configuration of assistances and everything just set up the way we normally do. And we're going to use ATC. And our flight is going to be about 400 miles, which is more than 300. And it does say miles, not nautical miles, though, in the achievement list. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing differently. So basically, we're going to do what we normally do with the other flights that did count, just with the prop. So I did a flight plan. We're going to do IFR. We're going to use ATC. We have a landing picked out, everything, just like we normally do. There's going to be a prop today. Now I am using a prop from the standard edition list, hoping it applies to the Jack of all planes achievement, although people aren't able to get that achievement to work, period. Anyway, so we're going to try, ultimately and utmost, we're just going to enjoy the flight. So achievements don't work, no loss at all, because this is a flight we would do normally anyway. So where are we and what's going on? If you check the description below, it always tells us where we are and what we're flying and where we're going. But today we're going to we're starting at Kilo Indigo Tango Romeo, Carlson County in Burlington, Colorado. And we're going to Lawrence Municipal over in Kansas, Kilo Lima Whiskey Charlie. And the whole point of the flight is just to look at some Midwestern scenery. I know people want to look at buildings and big cities and tall things, and I don't know, to me where it's at are these like rural flights. That's where the amazing GA is. However, we do need to get back into the mountains and things like that, so we're not looking at flatland all the time. But right now I kind of think the flatland looks better if you think of like the desert, the mountainous deserts we've been in for elephants and giraffes and things. But that's just my opinion and sticking to it. So, let's see. Anything else to say for the intro? Well, my voice is raspy because I raked a bunch of leaves yesterday, which means my allergies are going crazy. I also noticed my voice raises an octave when I speak into the microphone lately, compared to when I talk to my kids. It's my normal voice. And when I read, which I lower an octave. So, interesting there. Well, we're trying to squeeze this in. Oh, one more thing we're doing differently is that I said if I have to pause, which I likely will, I'm going to use active pause instead of the game pause. And maybe that'll make a difference. So anyway, let's put the drone away. And let's hop inside. And let's start this thing up. I set my presets in case people are curious. 1 is this view. 2 is looking at the instruments up close. 3 are some additional like dashboard stuff. What's that down there? And the rest of them are covered up here. 4 is the GPS view in this case, so we can see both at the same time, including autopilot. 5 is between the seats. 6 is the co-pilot view. 7 is cheating the head. 8 is overhead. 9 is looking out the window. And 0 is looking out the window. There we go. Alright, let's see. We're going to use a checklist because I haven't flown this particular plane before. Parking brake set. Let's assume it is. No, let's not assume it is. Even though it says right there, parking brake. Alright, at least this is in English. Cabin heat, defrost floor, parking brake, release lock. Let's relock it anyway because we are having problems with that. There we go. Power level idle, and that's right there. I already checked my rudders before I started recording. Electric master on. Should be right. I'm going to try to do this without hitting the little eyeball thing. Electric master is avionics master. There's engine master. Or do they mean electric master for that? Fuel pump, pitot heat. Well, we have to use the button. Display back? Oh, that is what they're calling the electric master instead of the starter. Okay, fine. Alrighty, moving along. Strobe lights on. Whoops, that's up here. Strobe light, there we go. Engine master. Well, let's get that going. And click the alerts. I also changed my volume, so my voices and alerts should be much louder than the engine. That way I can keep my game volume up so you can hear the voices, yet everything else should be quieter. But I only set it to 72%. I might have to lower it to like half. Engine master on. Wait until glow goes out. I don't know where glow is on this one. Glow on. Oh, glow off right away. Okay, there we go. That was fast. Electric master start. There we go. Crank up my personal volume. And there we go. Seems to be working just fine. Alright, after starting engine, annunciator, that's all this stuff. Check. Avionics switch on, which is funny because everything turned on already. Okay. Parking brake release, and that's all we get. That is all we get. Okay, fine. Let's get our IFR clearance started. Oh. It's an untowered airport. There we go. IFR clearance. Oh, good. Wow. Those voices are really loud compared to the engine, so hopefully in editing it turns out okay. Alright, let's see what they tell us to do while I get some other stuff going here.
Sierra 4105 is cleared to Kilo Lima Whiskey Charlie Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 15,000 feet. Departure frequency is 132.5 squawk 0331. Clearance point 30 minutes from now.
Alright. 15,000 feet, I guess. Let's get that set. We didn't check the ATIS. We'll check the ATIS in a minute. And otherwise, pretty straightforward, right? Okay. Quite simple. Let's get that going. Let's tune the weather. Alright, that's what it said. Okay, so this is almost accurate this time. Wow, is this one right? That's wrong. Maybe. We'll check in a second. I'm just getting information here before we get distracted. Okay, we have clouds at 2,500. Did they give us barometer? I didn't notice. Clouds at 12,005. We don't have any icing stuff in this airplane. That should be on for right now. Takeoff. Yeah, so without icing, this could get kind of scary. Because I don't see any icing. There's nothing over here. Nothing over there. There's altimeter 3042. It doesn't tell us. It doesn't tell us. What is not telling us? Runway in use, but that's for us to figure out. So this was pretty close. Coming from 294-ish, I think it said. So there's 296 there. So coming from 296 is almost coming from north-ish, right? No, I'm sorry. It would be 70 west-northwest. Coming from west-northwest. Is that coming from what? Yeah. No, that's opposite. That's just blowing. Because remember, when you look at a VFR, which we look at sky vector, you get tails. Where it's coming from. This is an arrow, so that's backwards. That says it's coming from over here. The arrows will be pointing that way. This one's correct. Okay, so better than normal. It's closer than normal if you just flip that around. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. But it's no issue. And it's also no issue that ATC sent you to the wrong runway. Lots of bugs, but it's working through. So we got everything going. I still don't see any icing anything in here at all. So we might have icing issues. We might have to go through or around the clouds or whatever, or up and down between clouds, not in clouds. If there's icing in here, let me know. I don't see it. Unless it's in here. No. Whoops. I did not mean to do that one. We got the wind. I like the wind that way, which is that one. I like our distance there, even though it's also there. Anything else? No, we'll use heading bug on the autopilot. Well, we'll try using nav on the autopilot, but it never works. It works for like a minute and then it stops. So we'll probably use the heading bug on autopilot. Enough chit chat. Let's get our first set of flaps down. There we go. And taxi lights on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Taxi lights on. And yeah, we're going to depart where? The wind is coming from west is 270, so it's coming from there, so we want to runway whatever's closest to 29. So what runway is closest to 29? Select the runway for takeoff. Runway 33 would be closest, right? Because that'd be the wrong way. That'd be tailwind takeoff. This will be a headwind takeoff. We're going to do runway 2. And we're going to depart, well, to the south and then to the east. So let's do depart south. Here we go.
Kilo India Tango Romeo traffic Turtle Sub Tango Sierra 4105 taking off runway 33 south departure.
Alrighty, so let's zoom in and see where we're even going. We want runway 33, which is going to be that one. So we're going to back taxi. We're going to turn right and back taxi. That's pretty easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's hop out here, taxi view, release the parking brake, and watch out for the dude. Hopefully. Whoa. I was going to do that thing to me. Okay. You have to be very low power in order for it to taxi, see? That's how all these DAs are doing this. See, look at this. You have to be almost stopped to turn. I don't understand that. But we're going to roll with it, so... See, look, and then it still turns, see? Very slow to respond. See, it's still turning, see? Very, very difficult to taxi these aircraft. I don't understand why. Very strange. But anyway, we're going to cope with it. Oh my goodness. We're going to cope with it and try to get to the end of the runway and take off. This is going to take forever, because if I go more than like 5% throttle, it does whatever it wants. So I'm teasing the rudder pedals, teasing the throttle, just to do this, which looks simple, but this is extremely difficult for some stupid reason. Let's hop inside so we can get our lights set, so I don't have to stop the aircraft. Otherwise, fuel pump is on. We'll keep that on until we get above ground. Fuel transfer don't need to use, or the bus, essential bus, we don't need to use normal operation. Even without a checklist, I think we're good. I think we are good. So let's try to do this. Come on. Come on. I also want to get rid of this map, but I can't in this one. Normally there's an insert thing and you can get rid of that. I don't see it. When we back, oh, there's a back. There it is, insert, off. There we go. Okay, good. We'll get that going though. There we go. Okay. Let's finish our taxi, and I'll see you when it's time to get into the air. I just realized this is also our CDI. There we go. Now we can use that as well. Okay, almost there. So we're just going to finish this out together. I seem to have the hang of the taxiing thing, which in this aircraft and both the DA so far has been just excruciatingly difficult. But whatever, let's just get over it. And let's fly a plane, shall we? Alright, so far so good. Our turnaround worked. Oh, look at the moon out there. That's amazing. Alright, let's get this thing lined up. So this is giving us so many problems, and it is now 23 minutes later in real life. I had to active pause and tend to some family members, and family always comes first. However, hopefully, oh boy, see, I bumped the rudder and now it went all wonky. Okay, come on, straighten out, there we go. All right, let's stop us at the parking brake a moment. I'm just hoping that active pause didn't, screw anything up. So I did find the CDI. I think I mentioned that. Can't remember because it was like half an hour ago. But anyway, I have that set there. So we're going to try using nav. Otherwise, we'll just go to I don't know. I guess we can always keep that up. But we'll use heading bug if we have to. Speaking of heading, set it to runway heading in case we screw up autopilot or it kicks in or something on us. Let's zoom that out a little bit. Otherwise, let's turn the flight director on. And we'll do autopilot and nav almost right away this time. Turn taxi lights off, leave the line lights on, position strobe already on, everything else is the way we need it to be. So we are ready to go. Let's release that parking. Let's move the mouse out of my way. Release that parking brake. And give it full throttle here for a moment. Be ready to see our engine management over there. Oh boy. Oh boy. These rudders. It's not the pedals or anything. It's just these Diamond aircraft. Don't know, but very, very careful. The wind is coming from the left a little bit. And seems to be accurate. You're ready to rotate here. No, I didn't announce that I'm taking off. Depart south. I think I already said that. It was the taxi. What? Whatever. I announced taxi, I think? Or did I just depart and not taxi? I don't remember what he did. Anyway, positive rate. And flaps will come in a second. Let's do flaps now. Let's see if we can look outside really fast. Very nice. Oh gosh. Whoa. It's really hard to fly from the outside. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. But we do have a plane to fly. So let's see. Let's manually join our flight plan here. And then we'll have autopilot take over. I just love flying manually. What are we climbing at? What, 750? 850? That must be the town there, I would think. Of Burlington, Colorado. Maybe not. I just looked at airport information. I didn't look at where we were in relation to the town. That being said, real world weather is turned on. Oh, those cars are next to the road. They're drag racing. You see that? We are, real world weather's turned on. It's super early in the morning right now, so I made it a little less morning. Now let's keep climbing. What did it say? 15,000 it wants us to do, huh? I guess we can try that. That car is driving in the grass. That's amazing. Which, I mean, I really love scenery and everything, but what's funny is even at FSX, I don't think cars drove on the grass. I think they stayed on the road. Doesn't seem to be what's happening here. But anyway, let's keep our climb going. It's going to be a slow climb. Oh, I didn't start our clock. See, dang it. See, without a checklist, I can't see that far. Without a checklist, we are missing things. So, there we go. At least I remembered. Alright, so this seems to be working. I don't know why it wouldn't, but I'm glad it is. We just have to see if autopilot will keep up with it. And, what else was I nervous about working? I can't remember, but I get nervous if I do anything except hand fly VFR, because it's really buggy. But we all know that, and that's okay for now. Alright, according to your HSI, we're about to join our flight plan, or flight path, so we're going to start turning towards it a little bit here. What I'm doing is letting the purple line up with the arrows. So when it lines up there too, and there, we can aim in the direction, which is 128 it says. So we're going to wait a little bit longer here to line up to it. Almost there. And there it is. Let's turn to 128 before we overfly it. And I overflew it because I was looking at other information. Whoa. No, don't do that. Wind, nice tailwind. Nice. So we're going 101 knots right now. What's our ground speed? 114. Alright, let's try to stay there. So now let's see if this works. So let's come down here. And let's do autopilot nav. And if I do alt, it's going to hold us where we are right now at 6850. So I don't want to push alt. That'll sink it. So what I want to do is just let it stay blue. And that should capture it. The VNAV is on here, but I don't know if it works. So I'm not going to try it. We're just going to go like this. In fact, actually we should probably do vertical speed to nose that. Whoa. It always does that weird. Come on. Just maybe that'll help it capture. Because what I'm thinking is without vertical speed engaged, it might just fly through that. But with vertical speed engaged, it should capture that. Even more certain that it'll capture it. And it's holding our course. Holy crap. We'll see how long though. It always gives up. In my experience, it always gives up. In a couple minutes, it'll just give up. So we'll see. Engine management. We're in the yellow, so let's not stay in the yellow all the time. Let's come back a little bit. A little bit. Come on. Come on. Bring throttles back. Is it going to come back? There we go. Jeez. Trying to get in the green. How far back do I have to come? I'm like 3/4 of the way back. Really? Come on. I don't want to slow down too much. It's going to take us forever to get there. Green. There we go. 2090. We'll stay there. Okay. So there we go. I think we're set. So if everything goes according to plan, that's making me nervous. Let's nose down a little bit here. Let's do a 300 climb. It's going to be a long climb, but whatever. If everything goes according to plan, we can fly this. I should probably tune in my next center. Yeah, I can fly this. Just well let the airplane fly itself until we get there. Just manage ATC. If it goes according to plan. But it never goes according to plan in the simulator. In X-Plane it will. It'll always, well not always, but it'll mostly go according to plan in the simulator. In X-Plane. But in this one, it never goes according to plan. So we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see. 1800. Okay. Okay, acknowledge 1800. And it said altimeter barometer change, I think. 10. Yep, it did. Okay, so just hit B for that. We're still on course. Tracking versus heading because of the wind. We're heading 125, but we're tracking 128. We're going to fly, and the whole point of this is to see the train change across the Midwest. So lots of sightseeing. I'll jump in if and when there's something interesting to talk about. We can turn the fuel pump off now, I think. And or can't we? It's a low-wing aircraft, so it's not gravity-fed. So I can't remember the rules of fuel pump. I had two real-life pilots argue in my comment section about when to use the fuel pumps in a low-wing aircraft. Yeah, so I still don't know because there's no consensus. So we'll keep that off. We'll keep landing lights on, might as well. I'm just going to enjoy the sights with you, and I'll jump in if and when there's anything to talk about, I guess. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, here we go. One of the problems that people have in the sim when you're trying to do autopilot stuff. We just slow down and we're oscillating like crazy. We're not even going to reach cruise because it wants us to do 18,000 feet and we can't even get that high. Look at it. So we're just going to stop right here. Whoops, not that one. Alt. Oh, it's not going to let us. Let's do Alt here like this. There we go. We'll do Alt here. And hopefully we'll speed back up again. I goosed the throttles. And hopefully we'll get some speed. Because autopilot was getting confused. So we're going to have to, let's see, can we altitude decrease? I'm going to have to request decreases by, what is it? 3,000 feet. See if they'll let us do that. I think we get down to 15. No. I'm not requesting flight level 818. I'm requesting 150. Oh my gosh, are you serious? I can't even do that right. This is nuts. We're only half an hour into the flight and we have an almost 3-hour flight here. There we go, and now we're getting speed. Okay, that was crazy town. Let's bring back throttles a little bit so we don't overspeed while we descend. And then we'll pig this thing once we get going. Okay. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's bring the throttles in the green. They're in the red. Maybe we'll keep them in the yellow. I'm looking over to the right side of my screen and see where the RPMs are flashing. I think it's supposed to be 2100. Come back. Again, I'm bringing throttles like back almost all the way just to get it to move. That's going to change too once we, come on. Jeez. Once we level off though, that's going to change. So let's just give it a second here and then we'll maintain that. Otherwise, let's turn the lane lights off anyway, I guess, just because we can. More things to click on. And otherwise, if we come over here, fuel, like we've only gone this far. This is the slowest climb ever. And then it was just gradually slowing down. Alright, let's pig this a little bit here and see what we can get once it levels off. It was gradually slowing down, and it just wasn't going to climb, even though I think service ceiling is a bazillion feet in this, but whatever. Okay, we are on our way now. We have a long way to go. 41 minutes to the next waypoint. And we're leveling off now, and let's see, I think 2300 is all we're going to get. Nope, even that's in the red. So let's bring it back a little bit, keep that out of the red. We'll keep it in the yellow just for speed. Okay, so I figured out what's going on. If you use the drone and you're not in active pause, the airplane does weird stuff. So we already know from before that if you're using the drone without autopilot, without active pause, your plane nosedives, right? Well, just now I was doing sightseeing for like a couple minutes, and I came back and it was climbing and trying to nose or slow down and climb. And then when I got back in the aircraft, it corrected itself. You see it's still coming back. And this was all jittery. So apparently I can only use the drone for short bits at time, or the airplane goes wonky. So I don't know if that's a known issue. I don't know if there are any tickets on that yet, but that seems to be the case. So that might be part of the problem I've been having. So anyway, back to sightseeing, and I'll have to be more careful with my drone usage, I guess.
4105 climb and maintain flight level 180.
125.2 for Southwest 924.
Alright, so we are in the middle of an argument with ATC. It keeps telling us to climb to 15,000 or 18,000. So then I request 15,000 and it says maintain and then expect 15,000. And I say, okay, I'll go up to 18,000 and then expect 15,000. It's not going to work that way because as we saw, this plane with max power is not going to get us to 18,000 feet. It just gets to like 15.4 and it goes crazy. So we're at as much max power as we can go without being in the red. IAS is only 96 knots, which would make sense because we're at 15,000 feet. But our ground speed is 121, which makes sense. So, no, we're never going to make it. And I requested 15,000. This is they're totally going to cancel on me for not listening to them. Oh, whatever. They're totally going to get mad at me. But anyway, that's where we're at. Hour 18 into the flight. Haven't had a pause or anything. Anytime someone's needing me at home, I can, autopilot is working. So thank goodness autopilot is actually working. This is the longest autopilot has worked for me so far in the sim. But ATC broke. Yeah, that's it. So that's your mid-flight update, although we're not even halfway there yet. We are going so slowly that we're not even halfway there. So we'll see how long this really takes. We are going to keep going. We're almost out of fuel on the left side. I don't know how to switch tanks to the right side, so it just says normal. Okay, I just looked it up. This aircraft, as it does in real life and seems to be modeled correctly, only draws from the left tank. So you have to use the fuel transfer button in order to turn off. Draw from both tanks and keep them level. So what we should have been doing was hitting this fuel transfer every so often, probably every 20 minutes or so, to balance out the tanks. So now we're going to ride on the right tank for a while till it gets balanced, and then we'll go back and forth. So I kind of thought that's what it was, but I'm shocked that it actually models that. It's supposed to. That's what the real life airplane does. I just looked it up. So that's exciting. I'm really expecting ATC to cancel us. Whatever. If it cancels us, I don't care as long as it doesn't screw up our progress towards this achievement. Because we're never going to get up that high. So anyway, now we'll go back to sightseeing. I'll catch you in a little bit.
Flight level 180. Generic 9 or Foxtrot Delta contact Kansas City Center on 124.4. Please expedite your climb to flight level 180.
Alright, just another mid-flight update for you. A lot of nothing. There's an airport there. That's the most interesting thing we've seen. And then about half an hour back, we saw a little city. But other than that, this route is nothing. I knew it'd be, flat because of where we are on the planet. But I expected to see a whole bunch of little towns and highways going to and from the towns. But other than the one town a half an hour back and that airport right there and the interstate that we're over, there is nothing. Nothing. And the scenery is exactly the same. And we're still getting yelled at by ATC. They handed us off a few times. And they're still yelling at us, but fortunately, they're not canceling us. So that is good to know. So I've given up with the increase-decrease thing. It's just not working. Unless we got to 18,000, then we could decrease. That we have done before. So it's not working. What are we at? Hour 53 flight time. And, I mean, we're about halfway, I would say. But if we go like this, we get a cursor. Yeah, maybe we're not even quite halfway yet. And it's already, so it's going to be a 3.5, 4 hour flight. And it's supposed to be 2 hours and 41 minutes in this aircraft. I guess if we flew out like maybe 10,000 feet, we could increase our IAS. But that doesn't necessarily mean we'll increase our ground speed because the air is thicker down there. So, I mean, ground speed isn't much lower than what it predicted, so we're going to keep doing it. I haven't had to pause it other than in the very beginning to tend to family stuff. I've been able to let her run, but I hope that one little pause in the beginning doesn't cancel the achievement thing. So, yeah, I don't know. We're moving along. Also, it's interesting that the pink doesn't line up with the waypoint we're going to. Weird. Anyway, at least it can more interesting now because these waypoints are closer together and they're not an hour apart. But anyway, so yeah, it's not the most exciting flight, but it's been fun listening to the Delta and UPS traffic. That's kind of cool because live traffic is turned on. Real life live traffic, not sim live traffic. We will be doing the sim stuff soon, the multiplayer sim where you turn on everybody who's playing in the sim, regardless if they're playing online in air quotes or not, or you can turn on just the people who are playing online and know they're playing online. So that'll be something we'll be doing soon. We get to hear what radio traffic sounds like, we get to see the people on the map, that type of thing, but not in this flight. We're going to continue staring at cornfields for the foreseeable future. Oh, there's an airplane, a couple airplanes around us, but they're really high. Well, I just want to give you a little update, although there really wasn't much to say, but there you go, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, just another little quick update for you all. I looked up this lake, that's Milford Lake. Let's hop outside actually so you can see it. There we go. That's Milford Lake. And the city we just went over is called, I lost it here, Junction City. And then we're just along I-70 basically for a lot of the trip. But that's the outside stuff. And let me show you some inside stuff that's going on here. Whoa. See, every time I come out of drone mode, it screws up stuff. But anyway, we're still fine with ATC, but we're really enjoying all the real world flight plan traffic. So that's pretty cool. And what else? Oh yeah, this fuel transfer thing works. You let it go a little bit so you can see it, but then this just quickly dumps fuel into the left tank. And then when it's about equal, you turn it off. It's so cool. You can actually see the right move to the left. It's super awesome. What else was I gonna say? Something was going on over here. Shoot. What was it? I had something to say. ATC I wanted to talk about, which I did. Did I miss something there? I don't think so. I want to talk about the fuel transfer. And there's a third thing. I had 3 things to say when I broke in. I can't remember the third thing. What was it gonna be? Oh, I know what it was. You can tell your flight plan in the flight plan screen your cruising altitude, and knowing the difficulties we're having, next time I'll just make sure it says 15,000, and then ATC won't bother us because 15,000 will be our cruise. But right now the flight plan defaulted to 18,000 based on the aircraft I chose. But otherwise, we have a ways to go. If I can get my cursor back, there we go. We're moving along nicely. We are like an hour behind schedule for some reason. And pretty soon we're going to have to active pause for a good chunk of the day because I have other things to do today. And I didn't allot much more time than what was planned. So I don't know how that's going to screw up the flight. But anyway, that's where we're at. Yeah, I want to talk about the fuel transfer, which I have to keep an eye on because once it equals out, I have to turn it off. And then we're going to change that next time. But I do like this plane a lot. It's lower than I expected it to be, IAS, and can't go as high as I expected it. And taxiing is weird on the ground, but so far so good. So anyway, anything else? No, that's it. I'm beating a dead horse, and I don't think we have anything to do other than watch FedEx now. That's awesome. Anyway, don't have anything else to do. Well, I bumped something. Shoot, I bumped my yoke. Don't lose. Oh, that's the other thing. Autopilot is still working. I haven't had to do anything with it. Amazing. So let's hopefully keep it up that way. Wow, look at all this air traffic as we get closer to Kansas City. And I will, wait, push that. Is it yelling at me still? Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Being a dead horse, I will see you in a bit. That's all. Nothing else to say than that. Oh, I can turn off my fuel transfer now. Here we go. See you in a little bit. Wait, what? I'm only 63 miles. What? Wait a second. Okay, time to focus. What is ATC telling us? Runway 19 approach doesn't give us the... my microphone's all out. I just ran down here to check after checking on something and we got some instructions. So let's read that back. Okay. You are 63 miles west. That's it? I guess that's at this speed though. That's what... Let's see, an hour. I guess it's half an hour only. Okay. We're not that far behind, I guess. Maintain present heading, altitude, expect vectors, visual 119 approach. So 119, or 19. Okay, let's see. I'll tell you what I was doing down here in a second. So, providing wind is still correct. It's coming from here. And runway 19 is going to be 18, 19. Okay, so a little bit crossing from the left. Okay, a little bit crossing from the left. Good, they actually have the correct runway selected. So let's go over here and have a peek at what our approach is going to look like as the visual approach. Because I did try to load instrument approach and there isn't one. So it's going to be visual and ATC has that figured out as well. How do I move my arrow down? There we go. And Come on, this is tedious, but get the job done here. Get back in the center. Come on. I want to see what 19 is going to look like. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Let me get this where I want it to be and I'll zoom in. Okay, after all that, we can't even zoom in that closely until we get closer. But I'm assuming this is, running orientation like usual. So 19 is there, so we'll probably go over. Depends. They might vector us to 19, but since it's visual, we might go over and I don't know. We'll see what it tells us to do. It'll tell us to do some type of entry, either via vectors or traffic pattern. Okay, good. So we're getting closer. Anyway, what else doing down here? I was looking at this. So 20 in each tank gallons, 2x14 visual. So that's 5, 10, 14, 15, right? So 5, 10, 15 essentially. Max difference 9 gallons. So that would be 2 ticks because 1 tick is 5. So I never was out of realism there before I figured out the fuel transfer. So that's kind of cool. Just fun to see that kind of stuff. Still never found any icing stuff. So if there is icing, let me know. I never did find it. I think these floodlights are super awesome up here. Isn't that cool? Oops. Bang my keyboard. Descend and maintain 5 grand. Ooh, we have something to do. All right, here we go. Descend 5,000 feet. So we're going to do vertical speed. It's going to bounce around. We're going to nose down 500 feet per minute or so. Never mind. 2,800. Okay, descend 2,800. And let's go 1,000 feet per minute because it's been kind of crazy. Okay. Nice stuff to do. Alright, let me bring my throttle so we don't overspeed, and let me get comfortable in my chair because we need to do stuff now. So, a little bit of sightseeing while this gets squared away, and I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, we just got more instructions. IFR plan is canceled, radar service terminated. That's normal because of where we are. Normally you would cancel IFR yourself once you know where you're going. So now it's VFR, and then we can frequency change. So let's tune in center and request flight following, which is going to be exhausting, but let's do it anyway.
Kansas City Center Turtles of Tango Sierra 4105
Oh, whoops.
is type Diamond DA 47 miles northwest of 9
Oh, shoot.
Sierra. Request flight following.
I didn't,
Turtles of Tango Sierra
darn it. It wasn't because I'm getting close to my airport. It's because, sorry, I'm reading this at the same time. No, hang on, I'll tell you what's going on in a second. Alright. I was sightseeing, and he jumped in to do some stuff. And I was talking to you all, and they gave me instructions to 2000, which we did over here, but I never acknowledged it. And so because they didn't acknowledge it, they canceled me, which is a bummer. So now we're going to use radar contact. What if I do retry? I wonder if I can go where I left off. Oh, I turned lighting lights on, by the way, during sightseeing. And we're setting a barometer. Let's retry.
Kansas City Center, Turtles of Tango Sierra 41056
Yeah, here we go.
miles northwest of Niner.
Let's see if we can let this resume.
West IFR to Kilo Lima Whiskey. Charlie ready to copy. Turtles of Tango Sierra.
Okay, good. We can continue. I just hope it doesn't screw up our achievement, because even though our achievement has nothing to do with ATC, I've been finding out that if you break ATC or ATC breaks on the way, it screws up your achievement, even if it's not related. So I'm just hoping that's not the case here. It's just I wasn't paying attention to acknowledging because I was setting this, I was setting my speed, I was talking to you. Okay. Radar contact. Yep. Landing lights are on. Altimeter we have set. Continue following 085, which is kind of where we're going. Climb and maintain flight level 90. I'm just sending a 2800, you goofball. Oh man, we're gonna have to cancel. We're not. No, it is so broken. I totally broke ATC. All right, we'll cancel IFR and go back and play following. What a goofy bummer. Maintain heading and altitude. Okay, never mind. Now it says maintain heading and altitude. Whatever, we'll keep it then. Oh my gosh, what a mess. So we're kind of in a funny situation here because originally ATC told us to, descend to 2,800, and we did, and there we are, nice and low over a city that we don't need to be this low over quite yet. Maybe we came down too quickly, but we're also being told to climb to flight level 190. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I don't know why it did that to us, but we're going to see how mad it gets. And if it cancels us, or if it does give us our clearance to land, otherwise it's going to yell at us and say you're not clear to land. In that case, we'll have to cancel IFR, so shut its mouth. But there's Lawrence right there, so we'll have to see how this goes. We're 14 minutes out. We came down like they told us to, but probably too quickly. And let's increase our speed now that we're actually leveled off here. I wasn't paying attention to that because I was sightseeing. No, we're not. Climbing to 190. Let's speed up again now that we have leveled off at 2,800. And barometer is set. Landing lights are on. Everything's ready to go. Let's just land the plane now. Caution what? Caution because we're in the low fuel? I know that. Because we're going to be 5 gallons on each side. We did run out of fuel in the jet version, or the jet part of this achievement. If we get close to running out of fuel, I will add fuel because I don't want to do that again. I filled this thing up 100%, so that's all we can do. And I thought this would go like 6 hours, and this hasn't been 3, and the winds haven't been that bad. It's been kind of a cross-wind thing. So I don't know what's going on. I know some aircraft have issues with the modeling for the fuel consumption modeling is incorrect. I don't know. Anyway, I'm doing more talking than I planned, so I'm going to give it a little bit more sightseeing until we have to do our next move here.
Bravo Delta, you are 60 miles west. Descend and maintain 3,100 feet. Expect vectors, visual runway 18 approach.
Descend and maintain 3,100 feet. Expect vectors, visual runway 18 approach, generic 0 Bravo Delta.
Alrighty, since we can have a disparity of up to 10 gallons, which is 2 ticks, we're just going to dump a bunch of fuel into this left tank here. And we're not going, we already had our approach, whatever. Let's see, so there's airport right there. We're almost there. 5 minutes away, it says. So it's out there somewhere, but because we're so low already, we can't see it, even though we did what ATC said. So what we're going to do, what they do in real life. And we're just going to cancel IFR. Just cancel it. We know where we're going. Not really, but we're going to pretend we do. And we're just going to go there. And Yeah, there we go.
Turtle Soup Tango Sierra.
Thank you.
4105 IFR flight
And we're
plan.
not
Canceled radar service terminated.
request IFR clearance for instrument FP.
Maintain VFR.
Huh?
Frequency
Oh,
change.
instrument flight
approved.
plan. No, there we go. Retry. No, request flight following. No, we're not even going to do flight following. No. We are going to tune in Lawrence and tell them where we are for landing, though. Tune in weather. Let's tune in weather, see what it says.
Kilo Lima Whiskey Charlie, automated weather observation, 180.
And let's turn off the fuel transfer while we're at it.
Wind 236 at niner. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 600 feet,
Right,
few
let's
clouds at
see.
4,300 feet, few clouds.
I missed what I needed to hear because I was messing with the fuel transfer.
10 C altimeter, tree 018.
3018. Alrighty.
Kilo Lima Whiskey Charlie, automated weather
Wind
observation, 180.
is 235 at 9. National Runway 19. Announce full stop landing. Where is it? 2. Oh my goodness. Airport should be right there somewhere. Where's the airport? Announce position.
Kilo Lima Whiskey Charlie traffic Turtle Boat Tango Sierra 4105 1 miles west 2,800 feet inbound to land runway 19.
There we go. We're right over it. So what we're going to do is we are going to announce downwind leg. We're going to make a downwind leg. But first we're going to change this to 119 degrees, 100, sorry, 19, 15, 16, 17, 18, 1990, so we know the orientation of the runway. So here we go. Autopilot off, flight director off, and we're going to take over manually. And let's just announce a crosswind leg. Base, not crosswind. I'm talking too much. Hang on, we have to announce a base leg. I meant base leg. Base leg. There, so there we go. Base leg is when that's perpendicular. And then when we look, we should see it right below us. Oh my gosh, we're way too high. So anyway, we're going to circle here and lose some altitude. And then we'll get some flaps on. Actually, let's get first set flaps down now. Landing lights are on. Everything is ready to go. We just need to look for that heading bug so we know when we're facing the runway. So basically, we're just turning around. I really want to sightsee, but we can't. We need some throttle here because you have to pitch down for speed, but we don't want to descend that much. So throttles here to keep us above this terrain. More throttles to keep us above the terrain. And we're just turning around, and as soon as the heading bug is right here, there's our runway orientation right there in front of us. So we go down, and down we go. Wow, look at that skyline and cityscape. That is gorgeous. However, I must say, with all the flying we do and sightseeing we do, some areas just simply look better than others, and some look worse. So this flight, it was okay. We've had much, much better scenery. But it was okay. Right, here we go, second set of flaps. This should slow us down. Well, we don't want to get too slow yet though. There we go, aim for those numbers, get ready. We should have a slight crosswind from the right. And we do, I'm feeling it, there's a gust. We're coming a little hot, but I'm not worried about it here. And we're going to bleed off speed and coming right at stall. Let the ground effects take us and coming right at stall. Right there. Oh, it bounced. Why did we bounce? Was that a gust again? I don't know. Weird. I don't know why we bounced. I think maybe we stalled and we don't have a stall horn. I was waiting for a stall horn. I didn't hear it. So maybe that's what happened. I'm not sure. Otherwise, let's see. Announce base, position. No, we'll wait till we get off, and then we will find a place to park up here. So our landings were really good for like the first 120 landings, but the last 5 have been really bad. So I think what's happening is I'm taking it for granted the ground effects are going to soften us up like a cushion and save us. And that isn't always the case. So I need to not use that idea, to use that approach, pun not intended. So not sure what's going on with that. Oh boy, we're gonna have this weird taxi problem. Now it's gonna take us forever to get there. You can turn that off. Oh, come on now. Come on. Anyway, so I gotta rethink my technique for landing because it started really well right out of the gates. And now I've been bouncing, which is so weird for me. So I don't know, have to figure it out. Alrighty, let's find some parking here and see if anybody wants to help us park, and hopefully we'll get credit for our Flights of Fancy, because it's the final, there they are over there. It's the final final aircraft type we need for that achievement. So hopefully it kicks in. Like I said, we crashed and it worked for part of it, so I don't know. I don't know if they're really waiting for us or not, but they're there. So let's, oh gosh, now I gotta get going here on the taxi thing. There we go. Alright, is he waiting for us? He is. Nice. That's why I picked the small airport, so I could see them waiting for us. See, I had to plan. Oh, fuel truck's gonna help us too. Oh my gosh, no. Let's not screw up this taxi. No. See, when you have really slow speeds, it gets really messed up. So it's really difficult to do what you want to do. Like full right rudder is barely going. So you gotta go kind of fast, but then it's hard to control and it doesn't let go of the rudder. Oh my gosh, taxiing this thing is a nightmare. And he's gonna tell us to stop soon. Awesome. Tell us to stop right. Almost there. There. He's saying, stop, don't hit me. Alright, buddy, thank you. Set the parking brake. We were looking at the flight time. Let's shut this thing down. Whoa, no. Turn that off. Whoa, what the heck? Let's see. What happened to my things? Off there, right? And then avionics, probably should have done that first. And then engine off. Yay! Did we get the achievement though? That's the question. Did we get the achievement? Let's find out. So normally we would end the flight outside the right. We would click through that screen and then go outside the aircraft and to end the episode or whatever. But because I really want these achievements to work, we're going right into here. And what are we looking for? Flights of Fancy, 66. Why won't it register my prop? The jet we crashed, it worked. The airliner, we ran into the taxiway, it worked. Prop, we've done 3 times now. 2 on camera, once I tried it myself, and it won't register my prop. There's no thing here other than you just fly a plane for 300 miles. And that was over 400 miles. So what the heck? Why? I don't understand. And did it apply to the Jack of all planes? Nope, didn't apply for this either. Well, I guess I have to give up on some of these because it's just ridiculous. This one's working though as we go. This one's working as we go. These are working as we go. This one is 4% for each, so we have 2-star airports to land at to get this one. This one's working. We just have to do the bush trips. This one's working. All these other ones are working. But yeah, this one is that one is buggy, which I assume the saddle store is buggy. And what's the other one then? Jack of all planes is buggy. And the other one from the other day, what was it? My something is My Way. That one's buggy too. So very frustrating. Anyway, we're ending inside the menu today because I wanted to get that achievement. Whatever. Maybe it'll be like the A320 where it just is there one day, right? I keep going back to that one because that one we did a bunch and then it just was there one day when I wasn't even doing anything. It just was there. So I don't know. I'm frustrated, but you know what? I'm just going to start chasing different achievements. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment so we can play the YouTube algorithm game. Leave a request for a flight in the description below, in the comments below. Someday I'll get that right. And I'll see you next time.